Hi, it's Tom here from FDS, and as you can see today we are looking at my Nerf Elite Rapid Pistol, and I've got to say a couple of thank yous. I've got to say a quick thank you to Drac for being so kind about the blaster that I sent him, and I'm glad to see how much he enjoyed it. And I've also got to welcome all those people who came across from his channel, and I hope you enjoy what we do over here at FDS. It's slightly different to kind of how Drac does things, but I think that's good. So I've also got to thank Thomas Olstad, who has kindly contributed to running my channel on Patreon. So this video is brought to you with his sponsorship, and I've got to thank him for that. I know that sounds kind of commercial and tacky, but it's still better than adverts in some ways, and remember to check that out. So let's get right into the blaster. It is a rapid pistol, and it is in Elite Blue and White. This is not the factory paint. You can't buy this model in the UK at the moment. They don't sell the White Strike Rapid Strike over here, and you'll notice that the finish is slightly better than the factory, and that's because it's one of mine. And you can see it's had a Jodacast handlectomy on the top here, where we've removed the handle. You can see there are one or two changes. This is a tri-blade rapid pistol, so that means it has the same performance as the blaster that I did for Drac, only in a tiny compact size. So that means it's shooting between 400 and 500 rounds a minute. The Drac's is capable of 600. This one is slightly lower rate of fire because of the way I wired it, and this has been built for a LARP player, and he decided against flat out rate of fire in exchange for slightly improved trigger control and the fact that the push always retracts. And there are a couple of ways of wiring these blasters. I'll put a link in the description box to Toruks blog where he discusses the benefits of both types of wiring. So we've got a BSUK kit here, front and rear, with their stock block and stock mount, and then you can see the standard BSUK wiring motor cover here with the link arm to hold the front end in place, and then under here is the battery box. Now this isn't a 14500 cell truss fire box. This is actually a 3D printed box, and in here is a 1000 mAh 40C LiPo, and that discharge rate is needed to keep up with the current demands of the 180s, which makes this really sing. I had a quick play with this yesterday, and it is super fun to shoot with. It's exactly the same as the one on my Ultimate Rapid Pistol, so if you want to check out the internals, then by all means go ahead. But I just thought I'd give you guys a sneak preview. You can also see that it's got my usual little voltmeter install up there flush with the back. This panel here is going to be painted in the blue eventually, but this was a very fast job. The customer wanted it yesterday and I didn't get time to paint that piece, and that's just a cut off section from the little handle that normally comes up here, the little mount. And I may get a little 3D printed part made up for there, either as a rudimentary blade sight, or maybe I'll have a handle put on there so that you can have a 2-point sling, because I quite like the 2-point sling on these. I don't know what the guy's preference is going to be, so we'll see where we go. And this is my custom mix Elite Blue, and then it's been added to with a very light coat. This had just one coat of candy blue. You can see here where I had to hurry the paint on a little bit, there is a little bit of bleed through on that mask, so I do occasionally have those problems, and that's to do with the candy running where it hadn't fully cured. This was what we call in the trade a wet on wet application, and we try to avoid doing those as much as possible. And basically what you do is you spray it, you flash it off fast with some heat and some air movement, and as soon as it's flashed off, you peel off your mask and then you hit it with the lacquer, which is not great, I have to say, but given that this has been built in about half the time it would normally take me to do, it was all I had left with. Now I've got a new finish on my grips here, and I don't know if it's going to show up on this camera. This is actually a kind of gunmetal grey metallic, and this really pops with gloss lacquer. Now this is a satin lacquer finish to replicate the plastic that you would see on the Elite line, and the customer said he was a fan of Elite Blue, so I kind of chucked that in. You can't really make a handleless Rapid Strike without painting it. So there you go, tri-blade Rapid Strike, and you can see there's some real estate here on the side for Pictiny camera mounts or Pictiny torch mounts, or if you want you can fit one of those Dorm Labs red dots in there. I just want to show you this with the Sickle magazine. I'll see if I can fit it in. So there it is with a Worker 15 round banana mag in, and I think that looks boss. It looks really nice. When you hold it in your hand, it's got really nice balance with that in. It's very hard to convey within the narrow confines of even my widest setting that I want to put my camera onto here, and that looks really tasty. And with the Demolisher mag in, it looks even better, but my Demolisher mag is locked up in my shed, and I'm not going to go get it just for you guys, I'm afraid. And I will put an album up of that at the beginning of the video, so I hope you enjoyed that, and expect more from me to come. I've got a couple of tests to do. Those will be coming out in the next 2 weeks before I go away for my short summer break, and I will endeavour to keep my content at 1 a week For those of you who are new and are used to Drax's hectic release schedule, then I'll try and do one a week for you guys. And to my original subscribers, I've got to say thank you for supporting me for so long. And all those people who came in at the beginning, you guys are absolute rocks of this channel. So thank you very much to all of you.